So, okay, looking back on Saturday, and we've gone up to 3 wins from 6, and I think it's fair to say that this weekend was a mix of experience, possibly age, and some of the younger players as well performing. Pleased with the weekend?
Yep, I think you've certainly got to be pleased at getting 6 teams out when we had so many people away across the club. I think on the last count, we had about 45 of our senior playing members not available on Saturday. And therefore, to still be able to put 6 teams out was absolutely incredible. So, like I said on our local groups, a huge thank you to all of those people who played, got involved, parents, partners, all that kind of jazz. Old timers like yourself, Wardy, Richard Bates, Dave Hicks, you name it, Matt Chappell, Pete Sykes. A lot of people came forward to get involved. And what that did is it ensured not only the players who were available at Chippenham Cricket Club could get a game, but it also meant that the opposition's players could get a game as well. So, a real big club effort, which I'm proud of.
I like how in the space of a week, I've changed from being a legend to an old timer. But I think to still get 3 wins, in that position in terms of players' availability, just shows the strength in numbers, I guess, and in quality, would you say?
Yeah, certainly. Look, I think the problems this week arose a little bit from the first and second 11, actually, where we had 13 regular first and second team players away. Now, that's astronomical in terms of, you're suddenly fielding teams that don't look like they normally do. And therefore, for the ones to come through, we're talking Whipple Premier 1 cricket. This is incredible to get wins anyway. And yet to do it with a team of people who are not new to cricket, but they're seasoned second 11 players. To see them step up to that standard, and for me as a scorer to actually watch it firsthand, people bat with dedication and people want to be out there and fight for the club. It was certainly brilliant to see. So, the first team had a cracking win. The second team perhaps went the way that we thought some of the other fixtures would, in terms of a little bit of a hiding. The thirds had a great win. Let's be honest, the thirds had a great win, 9 down, with number 9 and 11 batting together. And again, they got over the line thanks to a couple of wides, which was absolutely fantastic to take us for that one. But again, brilliant effort from the third team. The fourth team are doing really well. The fourth team are top of the table for a reason, and their core players are continuing to do brilliantly. It was a little bit of the Thompson show, the Will Thompson show this week, who I'm sure you'll be speaking to at some point. I think he took 2 wickets, scored 75 not out, and got their first 2 main batsmen out, run out as well. So, the Will Thompson show was in the cause, but absolutely superb and well supported by Nat Parks and other players as well. And then the 5s and 6s, whilst it was 2 losses, you don't often score 250 runs in the 6th 11 in Division 8 West and come up short. But the Melksham team were strong. And it was good to see that across both the 5s and the 6s, 9 out of the 12 wickets were taken by young under 18 cricketers. So it was good. 3 out of 6 is one thing, but the kind of the narrative and the story behind was another. And it was really good to see people step up and do so well. And I must pay testament to Azeem, our overseas player. He's looked really good at the start of the season, and he's just found methods and ways in which he can get himself out, or be given out, or adjudged out, should I say. But this time round, he had to fight. He had to dig in. He knew his wicket was the big one, and he got 50 not out at the end, stabilised the innings, and was superb throughout. So, a big shout out to Azeem and to all those players across the club who did so well this weekend.
Great news, great signs, and special mention to one of those old timers, Rich Bates, turning out in the 6th 11, playing with his son Tom, which I'm sure was a lovely thing to do, and showing the skills that he still has to score an unbeaten 100 as well.
Well, Wardy, you'll remember in 2019 when we won Prem 2 and went up to the dizzy heights. Obviously got in the way by COVID, sadly. But obviously Batesy was an integral part of that season, and he's been an integral part of the first 11 for a decade or 2 before that. So having Richard suddenly come back because his son's of that age and now playing senior cricket, it excites me, because hopefully we can nudge him up the teams throughout the coming weeks. But at the same time, of scoring 116 not out and then bowling 5 overs, I would love to have known how he felt on Sunday morning, because I doubt he would have moved at all.
Luke, great win for the first team on Saturday against Lansdowne, and 50 for you. So sounds like a good day around.
Yeah, it was a really, really big win. Lansdowne always a really, really good side, and to get a win over them was a great feeling, especially with, some real, some new additions to the team, some people making their debuts, which was, made it even more special. So great day all round.
Yeah, like you say there, so definitely some different faces on Saturday, but I guess it just proves that strength and depth that there is to still compete in games like that and still come out with a win.
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed with the way that the lads came in and sort of adapted quickly and clearly weren't out of their depth, against Lansdowne, who are probably quite similar strength to us. So yeah, they really proved themselves and did really well. Like Rui got fourth on debut, which is just amazing effort, trying to replace Ollie Price, who, just got called up to the first team, obviously, for Gloucestershire and did really well. And just, a really, really good performance from those boys.
And for people that might not have seen the scorecard or saw the game itself, was it a close game? Talk us through the win?
I mean, they batted first. We sort of, I can't remember what we restricted them to now, but we restricted them quite well. They batted really, really quite slowly. We didn't give them much in the field or with the ball. Some really nice tight bowling, good fielding. And we managed to chase it down, win by about 4 wickets. And it was very comfortable in the end. We were almost cruising it. Really, really good to see Azeem, get us going and build that platform that he did. And yeah, we were always going to win that game, in my opinion. Yeah.
Great stuff. And while we've got the chance, how's things going with Gloucestershire?
Really nice. Yeah, really good. Thanks. Playing lots of cricket in the week, which is great. It's what the summer's about in England. So batting, bowling, and it's really nice. Good opportunities to play against some good cricketers. And yeah, hopefully just sort of keep knocking down some doors and hopefully do put in some performances every now and then. But I'm loving it at the moment, loving my cricket.
Ollie, first things first, where do we find you this evening?
You're better than that, Ben. I'm at Taunton this evening, mate, just watching the 2020 Somerset versus Gloucester.
Lovely. So, Ollie, again on the weekend roundup, and even more impressive in that it was in Prem 1 in the first team.
Yeah, no. Basically one step below the professionals, aren't I, these days? Can't say I'm not happy about it. But I've been dropped this week, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. It's a lot of travelling in that league, so I'll accept the Wiltshire League instead.
On 4 wickets. 4 wickets and being dropped. How did it feel to be a Prem 1 player?
That was really nice, actually. One of the main things I really enjoyed using the ball, the Duke's ball. It's a lot better than the Wiltshire ball. It actually turned for once, which is quite nice. But 6 runs. Oh dear. But I was happy for it. It's the same in every league you play in, isn't it? Really, as a spinner, you just toss it up and let the batsman be a bit rubbish. So it worked. It worked a treat.
Azeem, great to have you on the weekend roundup. 50 to your name. It must be really pleasing to get those runs on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, for having me. Yeah, very pleased, especially when the first 5 weeks have the luck has not been on your side or you are not doing anything good for your team. So yeah, quite pleased with that. And thankfully, at least more than scoring a 50, it was that it came in a winning cause. So that's matters the most.
And was it a close game on Saturday? Obviously great for the first team to get that win against Lansdowne.
It shouldn't have been that close, the way it got close, because the time when, first of all, starting with the game, I think so we did quite well to restrict them to 183. And 183 with the pitch in Chippenham can be, a bit tricky. But with the makeshift opening of Charlie Slade, I think so he gave a good start. So took up the pressure early, scored maybe 25, 30 runs, but that was quick runs. So took probably the shine away of the ball. And then when I went to the bat, of course, I wasn't scoring runs for past 4 or 5 weeks. So there was only one thing in my mind, that today I'm not going to play any of the shots. But lucky me, when I was taking that, naturally the early shots came to me. I got a couple of early boundaries and was feeling quite all right. And especially when Luke came into play with me. So there was some, good cricket all over, few boundaries, and then singles, scoreboard ticking over. So probably his and mine partnership would be probably somewhere around like 100. So that made the matter easy. But I knew one thing, because this weekend, previous weekend, which we played, we were relatively on the sheet, quite a weak team. Not like that, but usually what team we have in that way, it's was a weak team.
Yeah.
So I knew this thing when we were batting, that if me or Luke, any one of us is going to get out, so we might struggle that. And probably that happened. Luke got out. Probably, I don't think so that was the right decision, but he was given out, and then had to change the game, because I thought that time if I get out, it would be because we still needed like 50 runs that time. And I thought if I'm going to get out that time by playing any shot, though I was quite set enough, but I thought if I'm going to play any shot and, any risky shot to score runs and all that, and by that, if I get out, we may struggle. So I was just trying to be as calm as I could on the other hand, and just be there till the end, take it till the end. But then Wilkinson came into bat probably after we lost 5 or 6 wickets, and the way he supported, he showed some intention that made the matter quite easy.
Fantastic. And like you say, 5 weeks in now, how have you found being at the club and being over here? Obviously, the sun is shining today, which helps, but have you enjoyed those 5 weeks?
Sun is shining. That is very strange, isn't it?
Hopefully it's not blaring too much off my head.
No, the club is, been to UK quite many times, but the club is brilliant. Everyone in the club is very good, very helping, quite understanding, and that is what you need. And this is, this as an overseas player also motivates you in a way to do well for the club, and for your own reputation also. That is always there, but the club has been great.
Fantastic. I'm feeling, well, obviously with that 50 under your belt now, feeling confident for the rest of the season?
I would say yes, of course. Runs is the thing which makes you, happy and glad. But at the same time, I really want to forget it, that I've scored a 50 or whatsoever, and let's move forward with that. And I would really like to keep that coming every weekend now.
Rich, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the weekend roundup. So putting the pads on again, putting the whites on again. Was this always the plan at the start of the season?
Absolutely not, Wardy. No. The plan was to go and watch Tom play, my son, and just enjoy watching him. But obviously, when the email came around to say that they were short and he wasn't going to get a game, I said, well, if he's not going to get a game and I'm not going to be taking the place of anywhere else, then I'll throw my hat in the ring, so to speak.
Fantastic effort. So yeah, straight back in, opening the batting, 100 game. Was it like riding a bike?
No. No, it was a bit of a struggle at times, but it was just more the mental side, just trying to make sure it didn't get out and just don't hit the ball in the air, don't try and whack it over the boundary. You know, try and be sensible for a change, and try and, you know, bat the whole innings, because obviously we had a lot of guys that, you know, stepped up as well, who hadn't played cricket for 20 years, 15 years. 2 ladies from the Diamonds who were played as well, and some young lads as well. So, you know, we didn't have that much strength in depth. So the plan was just to bat the 45 overs.
And sounds like quite a sort of high quality game as well. Scoring 250 and then opposition sort of chasing that down, high scoring.
Yeah, they chased them down quite easily. In the end, they had some guys who batted very well, very sensibly, and you know, picked the bad ball and just hit it for 4. But yeah, I mean, from our team's perspective, we did really well. There was Alex, Josh, wasn't it? Who got 68?
Yeah.
I think, and then some of the other guys who, you know, Devon, who I opened the batting with, hasn't played cricket for 20 years. He stuck around, he got a few runs and did really well. And the other guys who came in, you know, contributed as well, which was good to see. And hopefully everyone enjoyed it.
And you mentioned obviously playing with Tom as well, getting the chance to play with your son. That must have been really enjoyable. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was very nice. I didn't think I would probably get the opportunity, but yeah, it was nice to do it. So I probably wouldn't want to do it every week. I'm not sure my body could take that, but yeah, it was nice to have the opportunity to do so. Great stuff. Well, thanks for stepping up, Rich, and great to see you back out there again. Yeah, that's no problem. You know, and the same, you know, you look at the club as a whole, how many people actually stepped up, yourself included, you know, came and played, you know, when the club needed them, which is fantastic. Josh, first thing we should say is you are sporting a very fine top there. This is the new one-day kit. Am I right in thinking that?
This is the new midweek and T20 Wallop kit.
Fantastic. And modelling it very well, you are indeed. So, Josh, Saturday, 60 runs to your name. Must be feeling good after that knock.
Yeah, definitely. Spending the entire time at the crease with someone like Rich Bates is very helpful. We put on 115 together. Very good knock. He held up one end. I trundled along at the other, and he never looked like getting out. I never looked like getting out at any point. And we kind of just pushed on and on and on, trying to set up as high a score as we possibly could. And captaining on Saturday, am I right in thinking that? Oh, it was brilliant. Helping out with like the younger players as well, being able to show try and give them my input and help them out as much as I could on the day. It felt good just being able to help out and set an example, really.
And we should set, I mean, I should be calling you Skip, to be fair, with the midweek cricket, being midweek cricket captain. So you stepped up to the plate with that this year. For those that might not have seen some of the results, how's that been going?
We started brilliantly against Caution with a win. Unfortunately, it's gone downhill since then with a couple of losses on the bounce against Melford and Potter, with unfortunately Mr. Jeff Prado getting 50 against us from Melford on the day. But we got a good game against Gotaker coming up, which I have a strong feeling we could win, as we beat them last year. So hopefully that's going to go well.
And enjoying doing that midweek captaincy?
Absolutely. Having people such as you, Pete Sykes, Will Cousins, we've got a lot of people that can come in and help out on the day. There's never anyone that isn't putting their input in to help out as much as they can. It's a very well knitted together team. So we're all getting on really well, and the change rooms during the game, it's very high atmosphere.
Obviously, Silky, when we look back at the weekend, we didn't mention the fantastic backdrop behind you that should be noted.
The shrine to the mighty Molyneux and the Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club.
Surely one of the best backdrops that we've had on the weekend roundup so far. So 3 from 6 on Saturday. So signs moving in the right direction and welcoming back a number of players this weekend across the teams. Are things looking good for Saturday?
Yep, selection's been different to what it was last week. Is it easier? Possibly not, probably harder, because of the consequence of selecting players potentially over others. It's nice that there's so many people who want to be making teams and want to be playing and giving us issues and challenges. And that's brilliant when you look at the games of last week and see people perform as well in the team that they're normally in, or performing well in the team above where they're normally in. So if you look at somebody like an Ollie going up into the ones for his debut and taking 4 for 36 off his 10 overs and bowling all 10 at the death, that's a difficult thing to not pick that individual in the first team. But at the same time, when other players are coming back in, there's an understanding as to kind of the strengths and weaknesses and the balances within teams. So it is something we always work really hard on in selection, is around balance. And it is something around understanding what we're trying to do, and even look at pitches in which we're playing. So looking at this week ahead, the ones are playing away at Potton. So we know the type of track that Potton will have. It'll be throw the ball down into the track. It's hard, it's bouncy, it's very small in terms of its ground. Do we want to have 3 spinners in that team? No, probably not. Do we want to have a different type of attack in that team? Yes, we probably do. So it's not just as easy sometimes about looking at who's done well, but it's about the pitches that we're playing on and the opposition that we're playing against. So it led to an enjoyable selection meeting, but having had some of these over the years where they kind of go on for kind of 3.5 hours and you get a little bit of niggle between people because they're not quite right, we've just got to be true and try and be fair to ourselves in terms of the decisions we make, and be able to make sure that we can account to those through a conversation with any players that we need to. So it looks like a good week of cricket. So yes, in terms of 6 teams out, really great to have the 6 teams out in the numbers that we have. But interestingly, again, last week we had 66 by trying to beg, borrow and steal and find people to come in. This week we've got about 68 players available. So even with a significant number of people back, we've now got a significant number of others that aren't available. But it's not at the top end of the club this time in terms of the 1s and the 2s. Many of the people that were missing last week are back this week. So the 1s go to Potton. So it's a Wiltshire battle, which is wonderful. Potton have always done so well within the Premier League, and we kind of look up to a lot of the things that they do as a cricket club, certainly in terms of developing their own players and things like that. So that'll be a good battle for the first team. The second team have got a challenging encounter, actually. They're playing at home to Swindon Nowgo. Now, Nowgo is one of those who quite often find themselves at the bottom end of the division, but still County League 1. So they're a good cricket team. But they play cricket in a different way. They play cricket in a way where potentially against most of the teams, that if you bowl it in a certain position, the ball is going to be hit into a certain position. Whereas I remember playing in the game against Nowgo last year when they ended up scoring 280 odd, and they were hitting balls into areas that I'd never hit a ball in my life. And they hit the ball hard and they come at you hard, and it's a good game of cricket. And they had a really good win last week. So they've gone above our 2s in the table, meaning we've got a tough game on Saturday, but one which we hope we've learnt from in terms of last year, in terms of what happened there. And we'll go again for a good game. 3s are playing a game which is winnable, certainly winnable. And I think, again, with the strength and depth of people coming down, I think Kohli and his Barmy Army will always believe that they're in every single match, even though it's Division 3 and it's tough cricket. So the 3s have got a tough game. The 4s have got the big local derby playing against Allington. So that's about the pride of Chippenham. And there will be some good comments and all the rest that goes on there. So I think that's probably first playing 4th or first playing 5th within that one. So that's nice, and we look forward to welcoming Allington. And then the 5s and 6s, again, a bit similar to last week. They've got tough fixtures. So it's one of those that we look forward to getting 66 players out. The weather looks great for Saturday, and we look forward to having some good results again.